Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast, is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show. Back with you, kids, for episode 10 of season 1 of Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. We did it, kids. We're here. It's episode 10. Listen, when we started this, I was nice and brown everywhere, and now I'm gray. It took us forever. I'm kidding. It didn't take that long. There's just so much greatness here to love in this show, as everyone listening and watching knows. If you're a fan of Ted Lasso, you know what we're doing here. We're reviewing the entire series. This is, as we said before, the review of episode 10 of season 1. And as always, I'm Tom, joined by Joe and Jay, and we're gonna do the thing here today. We're going to do the thing. All right. So we're going to get into it. Episode 10. Guys, we have reached the end of season 1. We had this idea, this germ of an idea a month ago or however long it's been now. And Jay, here we are. I pitched it to you. And I remember when I pitched it to you, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, this is a long shot. I bet he's never watched it. I bet he's not. You know what I mean?
I remember being on the main event and you saying it, like thinking out loud, after, like as you were wrapping up. Oh, maybe I should do a Ted Lasso podcast. And I was like sat like in the green room, like that's a fucking great idea.
Yes. And
I know just the guy.
That's me. That's you.
That was Joe.
Yeah. Oh, God. And here we are.
I'm not a football person, but this is not about football.
Right. The whole of season 3, me and you were like kind of dissecting the season, like each episode talking. It was like, yeah, this is probably a good idea for a podcast at some point.
Yeah.
It happened a bit quicker than we thought.
Hey, I'm just saying, man, right place, right time. Lightning in a bottle, baby.
These things happen.
Hey, we pay it off. We're doing what the show does. If you pay attention, we'll reward you in the end. So just as the show has running jokes, we've got them here too. Trust me. They'll increase, I'm sure, as we go. So, you guys ready to dig into episode 10 here or what?
Oh, yes.
Oh, man, let's do this. Ted Lasso, season 1, episode 10. The title of this episode is The Hope That Kills You. Original air date, September 25th, 2020. Directed by MJ Delaney. Story by Joe Kelly and Jason Sudeikis. Teleplay by Brendan Hunt. As we said, 10 episodes in season 1. When last we left the Ted Lasso gang, the team was in a slump, and their efforts to remain in the Premier League were being hindered by Roy, whose age and injuries were catching up to him, leading the captain of AFC Richmond to deal with the reality of being benched. After receiving some shocking news from Rupert, Rebecca finally found the strength to confront Ted and confess her actions of sabotage, which Ted ultimately forgave. That sets the stage and the tone for this episode. As we said at the end of episode 9, kids, everyone's on the same page for the first time since this show began, and we can't wait for it. We're here for it. We open on Nate, who's heading to the kit room, I love this intro, only to find...
It's a cold open.
Yes.
It's, I think, one of the best ones in the season.
It's so
it's
good.
Brilliant.
Only to find that the work appears to already be done. It's the same story for the locker room. Nate meets Will, played by Charlie Hiscock, who identifies himself as the new clubhouse attendant.
Who are you? I'm Will. I'm the kit man. No, I'm the kit man.
Yep.
It's just like Nate's not sure what's going on. It's brilliant.
And Ted and Higgins play this off so greatly, man.
It's so good. It's the fact that Ted's like, wait, so has he lost his job? Have we replaced him?
Yeah. It's like, I don't know.
And Higgins is like comes in like, I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
Nate says, I love this. This comes from out of nowhere because this happened like 4 episodes ago or whatever the number. He said, is this because I called Isaac a pussy? Like just out of the blue. Of all the things to think it could be, he thinks it's that, right? Rebecca calls them and Nate calls you shrew. You did this, didn't you? Like, oh my God.
Again, he gets really aggressive so quickly.
He does.
Yeah. It's the fact that as soon as she calls him Nathan,
yes,
and he's like, wait, you know my name?
You know my name.
And then she's like, well, of course, I had to write it on your new contract. And it's straight away, he's like, oh God, oh God.
Ted says, Nate, you haven't been fired. It's worse. You've been promoted. Oh, it's great.
And then they open the shutters.
Yeah.
in the office, and the entire team is in there cheering for Nate.
Awesome.
And if you look back 8 episodes ago, they were bullying him.
They were.
Like, he was a nobody,
Yeah.
and now he's one of them. He's one of the lads. He's part of that. But it is just that thing of, like, it's just the fact that Rebecca walks in and Nate just immediately lashes out at her. It's just like, it shows how much he loves it.
It does.
But also, it goes back to the last episode when we were like, do you reckon Ted and Beard Beard and Nate found out about what Rebecca was doing? And the fact that as soon as he sees Rebecca and he doesn't attack Ted, he doesn't attack Higgins, he goes straight for Rebecca, and it's like, you did this. And it's as if like he thinks, okay, well, she's like getting rid of me to fuck with the club.
Nice.
Oh, yes.
That answers my
Good
question.
point. Well
from
made.
episode 9. Yeah, that's great.
I put in my notes that Nate's surprise promotion is the best and worst thing that could possibly happen.
Agreed.
It is.
Agreed.
Because you see signs of it in this episode.
You do. The second he
later
gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, we're talking about
a bit of power.
We're talking about the team hiding and being happy and everything changing and doing a 180. None of this, I can't stress this enough. For 9 episodes, I've said it. Now I'm saying it for the 10th. None of this happens without Ted. Without Ted's presence, Nate continues to be bullied. Roy's still a curmudgeon who probably Kelly doesn't give him the time of day. We don't know. No one is who they become at the end of this show, if not for Ted Lasso. Like, such good stuff.
It's the catalyst for all of it. But it is, it's just what, again, this is one of those things that made me well up when they all come charging out of that room.
Yeah.
And just like lift him up.
Yeah.
And it's like, from where we were, when they were hitting him with towels 8 episodes ago to where we are now, it's
a nice kind of like flip, isn't it? Where Nate straight away takes the piss out of Colin when Colin was like, Colin was probably like the worst bully of him.
Yes.
Out of everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he was, obviously we find out why he was so desperate to fit in.
Yeah.
But because he's desperate to fit in, Colin's like picking on him the worst.
Yeah, because we'll get there in a second, right?
What the line was?
Well, they present the whistle first. Ted and Beard go, and they present the whistle. Did you notice the box the whistle's in looks like one of the boxes Nate has made from a previous episode?
I had to rewind it, and it's not
the same.
It's not one of Nate. It's not one of Nate's boxes.
They made it for him. That's even better.
Oh wow!
They made that box themselves.
He says something about blowing it.
He said, "This is a whistle."
He says it's a new whistle. The only problem is it's never been blown. And Nate immediately goes, bit like Colin. Yeah. And they all laugh, and Colin's like, fair enough. Like, it's a good rib, like, innit? You can't fault it.
But even when they're all celebrating, like, what's really nice is that, like, Rebecca and Higgins are in there with them.
Yeah.
Great.
As they said in the last episode, she come down here more often, boss. She liven the place up.
Liven the place, yeah. And Nate immediately, he doesn't just go, he doesn't just nonchalant. Intensity goes straight to that whistle and blows everyone away. You know what I mean?
I love the reoccurring joke with this throughout the episodes.
But again, you could see this as foreshadowing of him going mad with power.
Yeah.
If you were that way inclined.
It's the truth. It's the truth. In Ted's office, he and Beard are having a quick throwaway discussion about jock itch, which is not a term used in the UK. So Beard has bought Mr. Muscle for whatever it is that he needed it for, and we don't need to know, right?
Yeah, which is the last fucking thing he needs to put down there.
Really?
Mr. Muscle is either an incredibly aggressive oven cleaner, or it's
bathroom cleaner.
Bathroom cleaner. It's incredibly aggressive for getting rid of limescale or grease, or it's not for putting on your meat and veg. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love how
it's probably had a terrible time with that.
I love how they knew that, like the people in the show knew it, because he goes, Mr. Muscle, like he didn't really know, but he'll find out later.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's so much attention to detail, though, like with like little things like that, and even the peanut butter Ted's got, it's from like a supermarket. Like you can see the labeling on it.
I never thought about that.
Like it's from like an English supermarket. I know because I used to work in that supermarket. So I saw the label. I was like, oh, he's got that. Okay.
It's the one without the palm oil in. It's the one I buy. Yeah.
What's the brand over there?
Yeah. I could not tell you. I think it's called like
Sunpat.
No, it's not Sunpat. It's because Sunpat uses palm oil. It's like natural nuts or something. I can't remember what it is. Probably not that.
It was Tesco's own that he had.
Is it?
The one that Ted had, yeah.
The label's very similar then. Yeah.
Yeah. Only because it had the Tesco's like branding on it that I could see.
I love this next
finger allergy.
Yeah. Finger allergy. I love this next bit. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Roy comes in and hands Ted the captain's armband. I keep calling it patch, but the armband. He tells him, he says, the captain has to be on the pitch. He needs to select a new captain. Ted doesn't want to. He wants Roy to choose. They're throwing it back and forth, and Beard is going. He's all excited. Yeah. And then when he does the sleight of hand and the patch ends up on Roy's head, Beard's like, oh, he's so here for it.
It's again, as we've said previously, like the physical comedy that is in this, because it's kind of like a Marx Brothers routine of them going, I decline, I insist.
Yeah.
It's just this thing. But then, he makes it disappear and then it's on his head. And Roy walks off and he goes, this is why it's hard to love you. and Ted goes, you heard that? And Beard goes, he loves you.
Awesome. And let's don't forget, as we've said before, that it wasn't too long ago, Roy hated his guts and called him a cowboy, and he couldn't wait till the rest of the town couldn't wait till he was fired and sent back home. So
even like 2 episodes ago, Roy wouldn't have indulged that whole like captain's armband thing. Yeah. Roy would have just walked away, shaking his head, grunting.
Yeah.
Whereas this time he was like fully involved in the bit.
And also, he doesn't want to have to make that decision.
It's true. Yeah. He doesn't want to have to do it.
Ted's like, you need to pass that torch on to someone else.
Ted knows as well that whoever Roy kind of like gives that armband to is going to instantly have the same like gravitas and respect that Roy had.
That's exactly what I've got in my notes there. Gravitas.
Because Roy's literally anointing them the new Roy Kent.
Yes, absolutely. And this helps Roy by Ted not benching. Ted didn't bench Roy. Roy came to it on his own. And Ted didn't pick a captain. Roy picked. This is the team seeing Roy being proactive and doing what's best for the team, not Ted doing it to them. Big difference. I love it. In the press room, Ted tells the team that Man City is coming into their house for the final game, but preparation-wise, they're going to treat it like just any other game. Isaac says it's not just any other game. If they lose, they could get relegated. Colin says they were relegated when he was at Cardiff. If it's his family's team, and his Nana never spoke to him after that. She just left him a box of shit in her will.
A box of shit in her will.
I'm guessing he means literal shit. I guess I don't know.
I'm assuming like a Todd in a box. Yeah. Like a shoebox.
Either that or just all the useless shit that she just couldn't decide who to give to.
Like a garlic press and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Zorro says that when clubs go down, teams get broken up. Sam asks if they have relegation in America, and Ted says no. And Isaac says, what happens to all the shit teams at the end of the season? And the answer is great.
This is brilliant. I wrote this down. He says, they play out the rest of the schedule going through the motions in meaningless games contested in lifeless, half-empty stadiums. And everyone's pretty much fine with that. Sound about right, Coach? And Beard goes, yeah, it's dumb.
It is.
Is that true?
It's true. 100% true. Yeah. You'll know very early on, depending on what sport you're talking about. NFL, pretty soon. NBA, you don't know for a long. I mean, NBA plays 82 games. So you don't really know. It takes a long time to know if teams are going to make the playoffs. But once they don't make it, once you know they're not going to make it, it's
What's the point?
I mean, guys on the bench get to start quite a bit. Starters get to take a rest. Yeah, the games are for nothing. It is what it is.
My understanding with MLS as well is that the teams have to buy into the league. So they can add new teams to the league, but they don't necessarily relegate any. the franchises will buy into the league to expand the league.
That makes sense.
Just means more matches every year.
Yeah.
Strange.
Ted throws it to Nate, who immediately he can't wait.
The whistle. Yeah, it's going through his head straight away.
Yes. Yep. Ted says, "Not inside. We're right here."
Beard goes, "Not indoors." Yeah, it's. And he's got a little video for them.
Oh, it's so good.
He wheels out this what looks like an incredibly expensive touchscreen TV or something, and he plays a video of Jamie Tartt being interviewed after a match.
Yep.
And it's kind of like to G them up. Nate thinks it's to G them up.
You can see it's like though Jamie has changed. Like he's reluctantly saying bad things about them.
Yeah,
it's almost like a backhanded compliment. A lot of it.
Yeah, isn't it also that he's got a new haircut? And Colin goes, "Are there no no barbers in Manchester?"
Yeah.
I love when he comes on the screen. The team is like, "Oh, okay, it's Jamie," and then they slowly change by the end of the interview. Yeah,
and he basically says he carried the team, and Ted Lasso's a rodeo. This is where he refers to him as a rodeo clown. And then all of a sudden, just a chair hits the screen, right? And it's
you can't. Don't forget this line. He says, "Sunday, I'm going to put the final nail in the ashes."
That is a really good Jamie line.
Instant caramel, not karma, but caramel. It's great.
The final nail in the ashes again doesn't make. It's like one of those really good malapropisms.
Well, it's Jamie. He's an idiot.
I know, but it's just really well done.
It is.
It's like the Zap Brannigan. The rest of the dominoes will topple like a house of cards. It's that sort of level of.
It's great.
Just confused metaphors. Isaac whips this chair at the TV.
I love the way this is shot because it makes it look like it's Roy.
Yeah.
The way it is. But then Roy turns with the camera to look at Isaac.
And Isaac just goes, "Yeah, sorry, bruv."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Roy goes, "No, that's right."
Well
like he's like, and that's the link, isn't it? That's where Roy sees Isaac for the first time.
No, in the Liverpool one.
Yes.
Yeah.
When Isaac tells the team to put the phones away, and Roy's like,
Yeah.
Again, all things that feed back, but
everything's connected. It's like an Oliver Stone movie. Everything's connected.
I know I'm getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but I love the fact that when Roy goes over to Isaac to give him the captain's arm, right, Bandy goes, "Keep on breaking TVs."
Oh, I love it. It's so good. Because he's keeping, and plus Isaac is he's the right temperament, but he's also a good guy. It's Roy. He'll be abrasive when he needs to be, and he'll never not be tough. But like he understands where this is a team effort. We all have to work together. I'm not the star. I'm the captain. I mean,
sometimes you need to bust heads. Yeah.
Yeah. So we go to the pub at the Crown and Anchor. Ted is trying to figure out how relegation works from Beard. If you come in last in the Premier League, you get to play in the championship. Beard says they also invented irony. Ted says they got a weird way with words. It's 2020. Let's just call them cigarettes. And Beard's like, yeah.
Again, one of those weird. They're eating fish and chips again as well. Like,
yeah,
they love fish.
He only eats fish and chips in that pub.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's probably because Ted's
the only thing they do.
Yeah,
it's the only British food that Ted can think of that's not a full English.
He's mentioned bangers before, but I don't know that he's ever had them. Maybe, I don't know.
It's probably the only food that pub does.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
Fish and chips.
Yeah. Baz, Jeremy, and Paul come up. Baz says thanks. And Jeremy says, "We know you did your best." Baz says, "Even though your best is still shit." Yeah. Paul calls him on that one, right? Which is nice. And Ted tells him to have a little hope. They all laugh, and May tells him, "It's the hope that kills you."
You haven't been around here a lot, have you?
Yeah.
It's the hope that kills you.
I have said that before many a football game.
Oh, really? So that is a thing? Has that always kind of been a football saying? Okay.
I've got a friend of mine who watches the football with me. So Newcastle, I support it. They're a good team now, but a couple of years ago they were kind of like Richmond in that always in a relegation battle.
Wow.
And every time we were on a good run of form, and we'd look good, and then throw a game where you go, It's the hope that kills you.
Mm.
And yeah, it is. It's like any sport. You're backing your team, they're doing well, and then just when you think, oh my God, we've done it, something bad happens. So it's very much foreshadowing for this episode.
Mm. It very much is. You're 100% right. Hey, Tom Clark here for Tom Clark's Main Event. And if you are not subscribed, you're doing life wrong. Going strong since 2014 with over 300 episodes and a variety of guests that include Randy Orton, The Big Show, Rob Van Dam, and a lot more. Check us out on all the major platforms, including YouTube at Boink Studios. Subscribe today, Tom Clark's Main Event. Ted tells Beard, because this is the first time Ted's been real concerned about this match. He's concerned now because he sees the sentiment of the town, and it's like we got some work to do. So we go back to Ted's place, and Ted is telling Nate and Beard that they just need to win and they're in. So Nate tells them that Crystal Palace could beat Norwich by 6 goals and they avoid relegation with just a tie.
Have you noticed Ted's hair in this scene?
Oh, I always notice. The first thing I look at is Ted's hair in any scene.
It starts off with just a strand like out of place. And by the end, it's like almost like Ted screaming at Nate in Liverpool out of place.
When he dashes off, it is. Also, I think they've got a massive bowl of hula hoops on the table, which I was quite jealous of. It
delicious. Made me want hula hoops again.
Yeah, I know. But if Crystal Palace wins 6-0, all they need is a tie. Ted is very much, if God wanted us to wear ties... Oh, what's the line?
She wouldn't have invented numbers.
That was it, yeah.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
And when he says that, Nate's going to blow the whistle again. I'm like, what? Stop. They stop him this time. Ted says, for the love of Meghan Markle, do not blow that whistle in here again, Nate. I swear. I got neighbors upstairs. They will just start stomping away. The back and forth with him and Nate here is great. When when he's on point, he's wonderful. Because Ted says, tell me how we can beat Man City. Nate says, we cannot beat Man City. Like, it's very matter of fact. Like, there's no discussing this.
Yeah.
Ted's not happy about it, right? He said, this is not what I want to hear from my assistant coach on his first day. Nate says, it's hopeless. I'm like, dude, stop. You're just piling on. And when he says it's hopeless, Beard's like, oh.
But Nate has never been nothing but honest.
It's true.
Has he? Like, and he's not one to blow smoke up Ted. He's like, there is no way we can win this. Like, he from the previous episode with Roy, like, Nate watches everyone like a hawk. He knows who isn't performing well. The episode in Liverpool, he knows who isn't performing well. He knows what they're capable of and what they're doing. Nate knows that they can't win this with the current setup. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah.
But Ted is Ted. And again, he's had some hula hoops. Hula hoops are a type of crisp, not the 50s fad.
I remember us talking about that a few episodes back.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't do a double take this time.
No, I was just like, I can't remember that we mentioned this, but yeah, we did. And Ted like goes mental.
Yeah.
Ted dashes off.
Yeah.
And like, I thought it was we were going to get lead tasso foreshadowing.
Nice. Well, he stomps off. And Beard you can tell Beard knows what's coming, so he just takes some snacks. And he asks Nate, he says, sidebar, whatever, are those the only clothes you own? Nate says, no, I got 3 of these.
I got 3 of these.
What? The answer is yes, it's the only clothes he owns.
It's just, again, one of those really just throwaway lines, but it just shows you that Nate isn't really a person. Like, his life is this club.
It's true.
Like, in the same way that Higgins is, it's the opposite end of that spectrum.
It's true.
But it's just he's like proud the fact he's got 3 like zip up practice kits. Yeah.
Well, Ted comes back and he's got another Believe sign, a miniature Believe, yellow paper.
But his hair is a mess at this point. Ted's furious.
It's great. He says, it's the first thing I see in the morning, last thing I see at night when I'm rationalizing being too tired to floss. Beard tells him that Believe can't score goals. Ted says, well, hello, Nelson. Let me introduce you to another Nelson right here. I think you'll hit it off because you're so damn pessimistic. Like, Ted's anger is not anger because it's still comical.
Oh, yeah. No, he's he is kind of angry, but it's to try and bring out the best of them. I also didn't get the Nelson thing until he goes, I think he means negative Nancy's.
Negative Nellies.
Yeah.
Negative Nellies, yeah. Damn it!
But Mrs. Shipley causes a ruckus upstairs again.
Sorry, Mrs. Shipley.
Beard has to explain it to Nate as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's the fact that Nate's like, what's going on? And Beard's like...
Because I was like, Admiral Nelson?
Yeah. And then Beard's like, he's calling us a pair of negative Nellies. And then Ted's like, you're damn right I am. Yeah. And then that's when Mrs. Shipley gets angry.
But also it turns out that that Ted has these Believe posters all around that flat. Like that is Ted's entire philosophy.
It is.
It's how he motivates himself to go in and motivate everyone else.
That's it.
It's true. Yeah.
If you just believe.
He keeps himself going.
It's quite a beautiful thing. But isn't this where we fast forward into the trick plays?
So, well, first we go to Rebecca's office because...
No, he goes to Rebecca's office, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Ted brings the biscuits, but she can tell something's wrong. He tells her that he thinks her football club might have been better off with a soccer coach. She says, where is this coming from? And he tells her that if they do end up losing on Sunday, she can go ahead and do whatever she thinks is best for the future of the club, even if that means he has to go. He spends the next minute suggesting his death with the throat slash, the hanging, the gun to the head.
Some absolute great physical comedy by Jason Sudeikis there as well.
He says, don't really murder me, but you know what I'm getting at.
It's that wonder.
He has to clarify. He has to clarify. Don't really kill me. So she says, "I'm sorry that you think you're not a proper football manager, but as someone who's never played the game before and knows the rules." He says, "No, I don't know jack diddly about any of it." Just that real quick.
Like we've done an entire season and he still doesn't understand what's going on.
Not a clue. Yeah. Like, she says, "Who cares?"
That's the thing. No, like Ted's a man manager. Like Beard and Nate are his two tactics guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ted's there to make everyone better on and off the pitch.
Yeah. It's morale.
On the plane over, isn't Beard reading the book on triangles?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beard gets it. But you can tell Beard watches and he gets what he's seeing. But Ted never.
You can tell as well, though, like Beard's fully like fallen in love with the club and like the place.
Yeah.
Like when he's... Even when Ted like brings up earlier in the episode, like the whole, oh yeah, they just play for no reason, and Bear's like, yeah, it's dumb.
It's dumb.
And he's very like quick to just like shoot it down, but then the passion he has for the club is going to get relegated if we do not do something about this.
Because he understands
the importance.
Yeah.
But also because he's grown to love it himself.
It's true.
Yeah, they've been through a lot in this first season. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. No kidding. You know, we don't need to get off on it, but sometimes I think, what if Ted didn't come? What if she never fired the other guy?
They would have probably still been relegated. They would
have been relegated, and then the players, the better players, would have gone to other clubs. I'm guessing. I mean, Jay's more of a person on this than me, but it would have just broke the team apart, and then they'd have got like the second team in, or like the youth reserve or whatever, and they'd have just plummeted through the tables.
Pretty much, yes. They would have just free fell to the National League,
the Bees at Homes League. Yeah,
no one wants to go to the National League.
Wow.
No,
hardest league to get out
so
of.
She would have got her wish.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah.
What's interesting, just to kind of look ahead, is that obviously the players don't, like Zero says, oh yeah, well, teams get broken up if they get relegated, but this team doesn't.
It's true.
Because they all choose to stay.
Yeah.
It's true.
Which isn't beyond the realm of, like, it has happened where players have decided they'd want to fight to get the club promoted back up. It's rare, few and far between, but it does happen.
But I think at the start of this episode, at the end of last episode, it's Ted's made a family.
Yeah, that's it.
They're now a team. They've got common goals and bonds between them all. And I genuinely think that all starts with Nate in Liverpool tearing into them all.
Yeah. And as we've said way earlier than this, the players know Ted the second he gets there. It takes a couple episodes for some of them, but that's how he wins Roy first. Because Ted, for all his I don't know this game, Roy sees the impact he has on the players and on the team as a team. And you can't fool players. You can hire the best guy, no matter what the sport. The players, within 10 minutes will go, this guy, what's this? Roy sees this guy's good for us. He's good for the guys, if nothing else.
It's like what Jay just said then. Ted is the people person and Beard is the actual sports person.
Yeah.
And that's why they sync together so well.
It's true. She gives him here the line about every disadvantage has his advantage, and he loves that, by the way. He loves that because that's a Tedism right there.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Sure, you don't know what you're doing, but that doesn't mean that you see the game doesn't that mean you see the game in a different way than any other football manager? And shouldn't that empower you to cause complete and utter confusion? He says, confusion.
This is the really good bit that I like from Ted. He goes, confusion or chaos.
Yeah. He's all excited too when this happens.
Oh, she's turned it round.
Yeah.
He comes in there so dejected and sad, and just by going, you might not be the best at this job, but you can come at it from a new way. And like, Ted just goes, oh. And then this is that bit in this episode that always makes me wince, when he runs through and like clicks his heels as he jumps through the door and cracks his head on the door frame. Like,
he fixes his hair though.
I know, but have you ever done that? You ever jumped up in a door frame?
Yep.
Yep. Right. There's no greater shame or pain any person can feel, actually, man or woman.
It's deeply upsetting.
It's the pain because you've smashed your head into something that's 2 inches above you, but also the fact that you've done it knowing that you were in a door frame, you idiot.
Yes.
That's the real shame. But he gets up and he's like, I'm okay.
He says, it's all right. The chaos has already begun. And now we get to the bit you alluded to earlier with the trick plays. Ted is talking. I love this so much. So basically in NFL, we would call this the Wildcat offense. And that means the team would line up and suddenly something's different. And you can tell when they line up, the quarterback's over here instead of being under center. And you're like, wait a minute, what's this? And the hopes of the Wildcat offense in NFL is the moment you go to get set, the defense has no clue what you're doing. So they have to scramble to each find a man to cover. And by the time they go down set hut and hike the ball, it's too late. The play's in motion. And when it works, it's beautiful. When it doesn't work, you just say, they blew it. But when it works, it's like a magic trick. It's awesome.
Yeah. This is why, he says, we call them trick plays. What do you call them here? And Beard goes, set pieces. And
elaborate set pieces.
We're not going to elaborate set pieces. Yeah, we're going to call them trick plays. That's too many words.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is as well, like especially with a team like City, if you like take it to them and you play like that, it does mess with them. It's one of the only ways you can get a result against them if you just try and outthink them.
I feel that this is part of the thing that Jamie does all the way through. He's playing mind games. Like, I think this is the parallel to that, is that, maybe they are, maybe they're not.
Nice.
But it's because Ted's not playing mind games.
No.
Ted's just being Ted.
Yes.
But Jamie's so bent out of shape about the whole thing that everyone's against him.
Did you notice on the board, there's a smiley face on the board where the plays are? Did you notice that?
Yeah. It's a lovely little bit there.
With the mind games thing, it's something that a lot of like managers will do. They'll single out a player and they'll either praise them or say, I don't think they're that good. And it can backfire, but it can also like unsettle a player and make them not play quite as well as they would. Or like the press will say, how are you going to handle this player? And they'll go, we've got a plan for them. 9 times out of 10 they don't. It's just they've just said that, and then the player's like, okay,
right,
what are they going to do?
Right.
And it just takes them off the game.
And so he just says, so any team you've played in, any of these trick plays, just yell them out and we'll run them. And Danny Rojas is first with his hand in the air.
Sandman.
And he just goes, the Sandman. And he goes, ooh, like Ted's into it at this point.
Yeah, none of them are that cool.
There's some good ones.
Not bad.
I've got I wrote them all down because I've got a list.
Yeah.
Obisanya offers up the pepper shakers. Mm-hmm. Colin offers up Beckham's Todger. To which Beard goes, Ted goes, I don't know what Todger means, and Beard goes, it's rude. And then Zero offers up Midnight Poutine, and Beard goes, not dirty, just Canadian, or something like that.
Super Canadian.
Super Canadian. We get Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, The Broken Tap by Bumper Catch, because City will leak a lot of goals from that.
That's great.
And then this is where it gets weird. We get we get Loki's Toboggan, the Upside Down Taxi, Hadrian's Wall, and the Dirty Martini, which I believe Ted says we should run that 3 times.
Yeah,
I didn't get that reference.
I just thought it was talking about the drink a dirty martini, but I don't know what's that a reference to. I thought somebody would know.
No, I scoured my brain for any reference to like a dirty martini and why you drink 3 of them. Dirty martini's got olive juice in it, I believe, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just a martini, but as well as the olive, they put the olive juice in.
Yeah, and which is nasty.
Why would you ever want that? I mean, I wouldn't want an olive in a drink, full stop. But
well, Ted has Beard add the Lasso special, and he does it very quickly.
Yeah,
but then we see it come to fruition in the game. Ted says they're going to hit Man City with the Chaos Hammer. Only Ted can say Chaos Hammer and make it work.
I'm surprised they didn't get sued by Games Workshop for that, to be honest.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, there's Warhammer, which is like a tabletop board game. But they're very, very protective of their IPs.
Oh, there you go.
They have an army called Chaos, and the Chaos Hammer.
There you go. We see Jamie for the first time in a while here. He's in the barber's chair. He's telling the guy, no wax, he wants pomade. We suddenly see Tommy played by Bill Skinner. I love Tommy. I do. If for nothing else, the voice is great.
He's such a dickhead.
He is. Can I get an Aussie? Come here. And he puts his arm around him. And you know when he puts his arm around him, you see Jamie turn and look at his arm.
When he's showing him Ted's like comments about him. Well, he's funnily enough, he's the one who puts the doubt in Jamie's head.
That's true. Jamie calls him a posh twat, which made me laugh.
Yeah.
And then throws his phone across the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you can leave now, and just whips it across the room. I was like, Jamie's a menace.
There's a clip of Ted talking about Jamie. He calls him a special young man, got talent for days, works hard, and has a jawline like the White Cliffs of Dover. He says, I'm always rooting for him.
That's just Ted doing Ted stuff, though. And that's just Ted loves Jamie.
He does.
Like, now knowing what Ted knows, that Jamie didn't leave of his own volition, that Rebecca instigated the transfer, he's no reason to hate Jamie.
But as well, because Jamie kind of feels like Ted could have stopped that, even though it comes out he couldn't.
Yeah, he couldn't.
Jamie harbors all that resentment towards Ted because he wanted to stay. He felt for the first time in a long time that he actually belonged.
He had a place, yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, Ted probably didn't know he had a say in it because he doesn't understand how relegation works or how anything else works. So no one pulled him aside, Higgins or anyone, and said, you could say something if you want to.
Well, it was literally the line.
Well, Ted doesn't he? He says to Rebecca, do not, under any circumstances, let him go.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No, it's another Tedism where she goes, they're gonna not repossess him.
They're gonna recall him from loan.
They're gonna take his house. Yeah. Like Ted doesn't understand.
Yeah.
But at some point, Higgins or someone could have stepped in and gone, "You can stop this."
Well, no, she explains it to there and then, and she goes, "Oh yeah, they just want you to not bench him because they'll recall him because they want him to play." Which it's the whole point of a loan move.
They're going to recall his loan. They're going to take his house. Yeah, that's the line.
Yeah, but it's the whole point of a loan move. They'll send a player to like get some game time.
But at that point, he thinks Rebecca is on his side, and he says, "Don't take him." Yeah.
Well, when he goes into the room on the bounce, and then she's like, "My hands were tied." They decide they want them back.
Yeah, she lies to him.
Turns out, yeah,
and he didn't know to question it because he assumed she was telling him the truth. Yeah. So Jamie messages Keely to see if he can come over and talk. He goes to Keely's and is met by Roy at the door.
Did you see the previous text messages?
Yes, they were keeping him in line.
No.
Yeah.
The one above it is, "Are you up, aubergine?" emoji. And Keely's response is, "Really? Question mark? Mm-hmm. And then the one that he sends is, "I'm in town. Do you want to meet up?" So even I didn't get the dates on it because I don't think it shows the time and stuff, but he's just been texting her like sex requests. Like,
I love the continuity. Yes, they pay attention to continuity because the discussion of this earlier in the show or in the season, when he goes to her house, she mentions the emojis that he would send, and there they are.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's how you get sex, by not trying to get sex.
That's right. Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Do you love films that have the same plot over and over and over and over again with only slightly different looking people in the main roles, but just don't have time to watch them all? You do? Then simply listen to Hallmark of Greatness, the only podcast that takes you through such masterpieces as Love at Sea, Love at Christmas, and A Volcano Sacrifice for Love. See a pattern here? Available wherever you get podcasts from, and also find us on social media by looking for Hallmark of Greatness. When Roy opens the door, Jamie answers with, "You're fucking joking," which is great. Keely comes in. When Keely comes to the kitchen, she sees him sitting there and she goes, "Oh, Roy, Jamie's coming over."
Sitting there in silence.
Yes.
Roy's in his pants and what appears to be like gherkin socks or something. Like they've got little gherkins on. I couldn't
Don't they have fried eggs on?
Possibly. It looked, I couldn't really, but they're both just sitting there in silence, just glaring at each other.
It's true.
And Keely's like, "Oh, by the way, Jamie's coming over."
Yeah, I love that.
Roy says,
"Oh, really?
Oh, is he? Shall I make scones?" Jamie says, "I don't even like scones." And they're going, "This is so silly, man."
But it's the dumbest argument. He's like, "I'm not making scones." Good, because I don't like them.
I love the way as well. Like Keely goes, "What's this? I made you a coffee." "Or what's this? I bought you a coffee."
Yeah, and she just tips the coffee into the cup.
Yeah,
like to just try and broker a peace between the two of them.
Oh my god, it's so good.
So dumb.
So he's telling Keely about Ted playing mind games. She says, "Ted does like you." Jamie responds with, "You're as full of shit as he is." And Roy tells him to mind his manners. And Jamie says, "Okay, RoboCop," And dude, at this moment, I thought these two could be in a sitcom together, like The Odd Couple, and it would be great.
I think I said if we ever get a spin-off from this, I want it to be Jamie going to like a Spanish team, Roy Kent as the manager of that team, neither of them speaking Spanish, and then them just mucking about.
Get Nate involved as well, because
Nate can be there as well. Because especially in the later series of this as well, the chemistry between Roy Kent and Jamie Tartt is some of the best.
It's so great
stuff.
Oh, brilliant.
It's so great.
The whole bike riding scene in Amsterdam is one of the funniest things.
100%. Keely tells Jamie that not everyone in his life is out to get him. Roy says, matter of factly, I am. She's surprised.
And then she looks at him and he goes, "I am."
Don't you respect honesty? And she's like, "Oh," and she kisses him, and Jamie's like, he's disgusted.
That's disgusting.
And he said, when you get done feeding mushy peas to him, give me a call. And he goes to leave. He tells Roy to enjoy the view from the bench tomorrow. And then after he leaves, Roy tells Keely now he wants mushy peas.
Yeah, well, now I want mushy peas. Yeah. It's again, it's just one of those really great scenes that they do there that gives so much away with nothing.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
it's an art. Like, is there a bit like where like Roy throws an imaginary thing at Jamie and he ducks?
Yeah.
And he's like, didn't hit me. And it's just like, it's not real. Like, but you're such a child.
Because Roy does he does the zip in his mouth and
he zips it and throws the key at him. You missed. Yeah.
And Jamie has that look like he's annoyed that he would throw it at him. What are you doing? Yeah.
I love as well when he says the thing about the bench, like Roy looks at Keely and you think it's like Roy's pissed off that like Keely might have blabbed. And then he's just like, I just want mushy peas now.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, you know what? I didn't think about that. That she would have told
him. I thought like the way he looked at her, because the way she looks at him, it's like as if she's about to apologize for telling Jamie.
I don't think she has. I think it might just be common knowledge that.
Like, it got around probably. He's
probably going to get benched for the last match of the season against City.
Yeah.
Back at Ted's place, he's talking to Henry, Joe's favorite character, on FaceTime. He tells Ted that when he watches him coach soccer, it looks like he's not doing anything. Ted tells him he's not. It's not like being a football coach back home. He's got a lot less control. This pays off, kids, in the end.
Yep. I know.
I love it. He's got a lot less control once the game starts. He can't tell the players what to do. He just got to hope that everything he's trying to teach them has made an impact and that they'll get it right and make the right decisions. It's like being a dad. And then he's going on, then he stops and says, how much of this did you get before you checked out? Henry goes, I drew a robot just out of the blue. It's so
It's
good.
A fun line. It's a good, it is. Like,
a little bit of back and forth.
I love it.
I will say that Henry grows on me as the seasons go on. Like, he learns his chops. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Like Harry Potter. Yeah.
That's a tough one. I'm not a Potter guy, man. I'm not.
No, let's not do Harry Potter.
No. So much for the Harry Potter podcast that was down the pipe. Fine, whatever. Okay. Yeah.
Unless you want to hear me do a big old rant about, anyway.
Yeah. I'm not. I got a friend that loves it, and she really wants me to do a 6M with her about it. And I'm like, I love you, but yeah.
The films are fine.
I'll do it for her. So
the first 4 are terrible because apart from Emma Watson, none of them can act. Apart from the adults in it.
Radcliffe's great now, by the way. I love me some Radcliffe now. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh, I love the fact that Radcliffe has just gone, I was in like the biggest thing ever, and now I'm just doing bizarre indie films where guns are glued to my hands, and I've got like big socks on.
Swiss Army man.
Yeah.
Like, how do you follow up Harry Potter? You don't. You just do what you want to do. Who cares? You've made all the money in the world. Who cares now? Yeah.
Yeah. Look at residuals. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Let's not get
Where were we? Game time, kids. That's where we are. The fans are pouring into the dog track. The commentators are talking about what's at stake. The team wins. They stay up.
Jay?
Yeah.
Would they be playing this late at night?
Oh.
Nope.
Right. I thought this because it's dark.
I did touch on this earlier in the season. Our season, not the show season. Basically, the last game of the season is always without fail. I think it's 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. on a Sunday in May. So it would always be a summer afternoon.
And
so it being at night, not happening.
Not only is it at night, they're bundled up like it's wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
You notice?
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Yeah, Rebecca's. I mean, fair, but our weather's shit. Like
most of Europe is on fire at the moment, and it's pissing it down here.
I was gonna say it's August and it's like torrential rain here. So
I found a cool thing on my phone where I can watch the river near my house go up and down in real time.
That's nice.
It's quite fun. I could just walk down and have a look at it, but
you could, yeah. Well, then you'd be caught in the rain, mate, and
no one needs that. Who needs that?
I've got to buy the dog a special coat because she's an idiot.
So Jay, as an educated connoisseur of the football there where you are,
yes,
what would be the reason do you think they chose to do this as a night game? What is there a reason?
I think it was just an oversight.
Or it was the only time the stadium was available.
Ooh.
That too. No, actually, no, I don't know, because they would have been able to film it in the off season where like, or even midweek, they could have done a midweek film of it,
or get crowd shots at a different time and then use them. Yeah,
the way it's shot, they could have got crowd shots like during a game. Obviously, Crystal Palace, whose ground they use, wear the same colours as Richmond, so they could quite easily like CG some fans with the shirts on, have like people who are green screened into. But,
you can tell with every game in this season, in this show, that you can tell when it's people, when it's screened in. It's not terrible. It doesn't really take me out, but you can kind of tell that's digital. That's not, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. All of the football action is terribly green screened, but I don't care.
Oh no,
it doesn't take away from the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird oversight that they've had, that they'd have like the last game of the season at night and
about 8 o'clock. It looks like,
yeah, and imply that it's going to be a cold. I mean, it would be cooler, but even still, like the fact that they've got it at night, it's usually massively extreme circumstances that it would be any time other than 4:30 or 4 o'clock on.
Well, the fact that the Crystal Palace game is happening at the same time as well, which does happen apparently.
Well, all the games happen at the exact same time on the last game of the season.
Ah, right.
They all kick off the exact same time, so basically everyone can kind of. Okay. So teams on having to then catch up. As I say, the only time you tend to find where a team would have a game after the fact would be if there's been like a postponed game or something, and literally the only time they could rearrange it would be after the final game.
Due to ghosts, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like when the fans are coming in, the commentators use the line of the episode. They come in full of hope, but they know all too well it's the hope that kills you. We see Keely and Rebecca in the stands. Rebecca tells her that she forgot how stressful the game is when you actually give a shit. Keely tells her she's never really cared about football, but she knows how to act during a match. Her heart has never really been in it. Then she sees Roy on the pitch and says, "Today I care very much."
Yeah, it's a lovely little bit.
Yeah.
But also, Rebecca and Keely, best mates again.
Yes. Yeah. Rebecca did the right thing.
Atoned for her sins.
Yes.
Atoned for her sins, and like Keely respects it.
For sure.
It's a beautiful thing.
If she had not, Keely would not be your friend anymore. She would have been friendly,
Keely wouldn't be there.
But that would have been the end of it. Yeah.
You'd have got like the icy comments that you got in the previous episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. We see Rupert and Bex at home. They're preparing for the game. We see May and the gang in the pub. Paul wants to do a good luck group hug, and they all say no. Like they're upset about it. Instead, they all toast.
And do shots.
It's funny. Yeah. Higgins brings his family to the game. This is so fun. Rebecca says,
"This is a good, just long burner joke."
Higgins, how many kids do you have? Jesus Christ! Then he introduces his oldest, Lindsay, who is a priest. Rebecca nods and says,
She goes, "Forgive me, Father." But then, like, Higgins' wife comes over and goes, "Oh, when your child's born out of wedlock, it gives you a lot of movement in the grey areas." And I'm like, Higgins' wife needs more screen time.
Ooh, yeah.
She's only in like at select times, but when she is, she's fantastic.
Oh, she's beautiful. Yeah. And it is just that thing of like, he's a priest, but yeah, we never met him up to this point because there's only been the 4 lads in the car, so he's an early child.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, Higgins has got a what's the thing called? Is it a rattle?
Oh, he's got a rattle. He's got one of those big old 1920s rattles that people used to take to matches back in the day.
Actually banned from football matches now.
You know why? Because they weigh a ton, and you could crack someone.
They're a weapon.
Yeah. Well, they are essentially mahogany. Yeah. Especially carrying a kosh around with you.
I suppose though, if he's in the director's box, you can get away with that.
Also, it's just bits in it, like, but
yeah, it's a footballing stereotype.
Much like the pub, because I hate this.
Well, I'm thinking what you're talking about. It sounds like there's a handle and you do this, And as it goes around, it makes
it clicks.
Yeah.
I think you used to have them back in like the day for American football when it was like college teams playing. Horse Feathers, Marx Brothers, they use them in that when they're watching the last match.
Nice. I gotta watch some Marx Brothers. We keep referencing them.
I do a lot because it's my favorite thing.
They're great. They're great. In the locker room, Roy sits next to Isaac. This is what you were getting at earlier, Jay. Hands him the captain's armband and says, "Never stop breaking TVs." Ted walks in and observes the team getting ready. This is a great, again, the way it's shot has to be praised, okay? When he comes in, he looks around and he allows them to do the thing. He takes a moment before he speaks, which is freaking great. He says he's not crazy about the saying that they have, it's the hope that kills you. He thinks it's the lack of hope that kills you. He believes in hope. He believes in belief. Then he hits them with, do you believe in miracles? Which comes from the U.S. versus Soviet Union hockey team in the Olympics several years ago.
Ice hockey team in,
So good.
I love when he says that, it goes to Sam and he's like grinning when he says it. Sam's always the first on board with anything like that.
Anything, he had Sam. He didn't have to work to get Sam. He had Sam the minute he showed up. Sam loves him.
He took Sam from a position where he wasn't doing anything and put him where he should be.
Well said.
And Sam respects that.
Absolutely.
He saw something in Sam, and
he says you don't have to answer, but you have to answer for yourself. And if you do, you need to circle up with me. So they all come up, and he tells Roy, "All right, Captain, let him know." Roy nods to Isaac, who throws his hand on top, and they all go, "Ooh," right?
His other arm, but they all go, "Ooh," but everyone's smiling.
Yes, for sure.
It's a lovely, lovely bit. And then Isaac goes, on 12.
On 12.
Richmond. And he misses 8 out.
He misses 8.
And I think is that referenced earlier? Like, he's not good at 8s.
I don't remember that reference.
Oh, I don't know. Because, like, I know when they're burning stuff, he says, "This is the only pen I can write my name with." And I've just had it in my head that Isaac is just bad with 8s. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I filled that gap in myself. Sorry.
You might be wrong about your connection, but you may not be wrong about there being a connection, and we're just not seeing it right now because they connect everything.
But it's when he goes 7, 9, Ted looks across and just goes,
"Yeah." And they don't say a word. They just keep going. So they break and they're walking out, and then Nate asks Beard, he says, "Is believing in miracles from a movie or real life?" And Beard says, "Both."
Both.
Miracle is an exceptional movie, by the way, kids. Kurt Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Exceptional film. Exceptional film. We go to the pitch. It's Jamie's first match back in Richmond since going back to Man City. Ted wishes him good. You see him. He's giving Roy hell. And then Ted comes into frame. "Hey, Jamie, good luck." It's so good, man.
Yeah. He's like giving him the cheeky wink and stuff. And then, it's just Ted coming. And he just goes, "Fucking mind games."
Yeah.
And it's like, Ted's not doing any of that. Ted's just being Ted.
Ted's genuinely being supportive.
Yeah.
It's like that bit. I know you guys have seen it like in a sitcom or a movie where like someone has done something to somebody. So this person gets revenge by not doing anything. But the entire show, that other person thinks they're doing something. So they're just nice to them. I know they're planning something, and they were never planning a thing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. So the game is on. Zorro blocks a goal, and Ted rushes up to ask he goes, "Explain to me how that's offsides." And he says, "I really don't know. How is that offsides?" Because, like,
No, the linesman goes, "What?" And he goes, "No, explain to me. I don't understand what offside is."
And then he just walks off. Beard comes out to explain it to him. The commentators think they're discussing tactics. It's great.
No, before that, we get Jamie doing a run. We get Jamie doing a run in the first half, don't we? And he doesn't pass, and Zorro saves it.
Ah, yes, you're right. Yeah.
And Zorro saves it. And this comes into play later on in the episode. But it's shown that Jamie hasn't learned anything. Jamie still thinks he's king shit.
It's the truth. Yeah, we see. Yeah, you're right. And man, the way this ends is effing beautiful. I can't get over how
heartbreaking and awful and delightful.
It is.
Yeah,
it's so good. We get some camera shots here from the pub with Rupert and Bex. They decide to run the Sandman play, and it's beautiful. The play is beautiful, but they miss the goal. And even Jeremy likes the play in the pub, which is nice.
It's a shot on goal, right, which counts, right? Apparently, according to betting, and it's a good play. Like it's like a triple dummy from a corner. It's a good play. I don't know why it's called the Sandman.
Although if Danny Rojas wasn't taking the corner, he probably would have scored.
Yeah, but as we find out later on, Rojas is the corner man, isn't he?
Yeah. He shouldn't be, though, for the position he plays.
I know. Again, ants at the picnic.
Realistically, it should be Sam who's taking the corners.
He's playing Jamie's position, right?
Yeah. So he's a centre forward. He should be like the guy who's like...
You want a winger taking
on the end of the ball. Yeah.
So when we go back to the locker room, the coaches... I love this scene for a lot of reasons. They go back to the locker room. The coaches are talking.
It's 0-0 at halftime, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is important stuff. It's 0-0 at halftime. They go back in.
It's great.
To the locker room.
Sam wants to know the Crystal Palace score. Ted says, "No, we're not, dude.
No."
There's moments when Sudeikis feels like an actual coach. He feels like a real coach here.
Yeah, we're not playing for a tie.
Yeah, no matter if he knows the game or not. It's great.
It's the great line of, "We're not here to kiss our sister," and everyone looks at him with confusion because I don't know what that means.
It's kissing your sister. You know something's not right. It's not. You know what I mean?
But like Ted literally goes, "I realize that doesn't translate well over here, and it's a horrible phrase."
Yeah, second place is like kissing your sister. It's just something's off about it. It's not. You didn't win. You're kissing your sister. Ugh. Yeah. Hey, what is up? Tom Clark here for Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, where we focus on movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. It's a complete geek culture / pop culture podcast. Brand new episodes drop every Tuesday. The show is available for subscription right now today on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Stitcher, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Just subscribe and you'll be all set. Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. He's like, I realize now that that's not a saying here and it shouldn't be, and I regret saying it and everything. He says, we're playing for a win. And, dude, he's got them fired up. It's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of managers will, like, refuse to even, like, pay attention to any other result as well. If the team's kind of, like, hoping for another result to go their way, a lot of managers will, like, be like, we're not paying attention because then we aren't focused on our game. We're focused on another game, which is why Ted would not want them to know the result.
Oh,
still, Crystal Palace needs 6 goals, which I'm assuming is like a goal difference thing.
Yeah.
If it was tied for points, because I didn't understand why, because you don't get more points for still scoring more goals.
Yeah, if Crystal Palace needed to put 6 past Norwich, it would be that Norwich have got +6 goals, but the same point total as Richmond if Richmond draw.
Well, I'm the Ted Lasso of this show, kids, because I don't know a lot about any of football, if I'm being honest.
I don't either, but I kind of worked that out because there's no point in scoring 6 goals otherwise.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, Ted does Ted stuff.
Basically, the way they decide things is down to goal difference. So
if it's a tie on points, because you get 3 points for a win...
3 for a win, 1 for a draw, 0 for a loss.
Now for a loss.
If there's a tie on points, then it would go down to who's got the better goal difference. So, basically, from goals scored and goals conceded.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is why Crystal Palace needed 6 goals.
Yeah.
And they needed a tie.
Norwich would have scored 6 more goals than Richmond, essentially, throughout the season. Or, well, 5 more goals, I should say.
Right.
It's confusing.
Well, what comes out of this scene is something I didn't expect and had forgotten. But when you go back and look, it's absolute perfect effing sense. Because he announces the team that Roy's taking the pitch and he's coming off the bench for after halftime. So they come out and the crowd's cheering. And Rupert, of all people, calls Roy an octogenarian. You're calling him that?
Rupert's flat is horrible, right?
Yeah.
I hate it. He's got that big, like, cocktail bar behind him thing there with all those glasses. No one ever comes round to his house.
True.
They're all just sitting there collecting dust.
True.
Right? But the fact that he calls him an octogenarian, and we've already established that Rupert is like 70-something.
Yeah.
At this point.
Also, he's got a shirt with his name on the back with a 1.
Oh my!
Because he's a knobhead.
He does.
Framed on the wall as well.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's not even wearing the shirt. Bex is. No, he's not.
Bex is wearing a shirt. He's just sitting there, like just absolute monster.
Yeah.
So Richmond has a penalty.
I hate him.
Yeah, he's the worst and the best at the same time because he's so great at his job. But he's the worst.
Oh, I know we're meant to hate him, but
I love it. Yeah, but yeah, he's detestable. Richmond has a penalty and Zorro misses blocking a goal. Man City goes up 1-0. Rebecca's fired up in the stands. Achilles says, "I love it when you give a shit." Jamie is going for the goal, and this, kids. I know this after having never coached a game of anything in my life. I should know. This is why you bring Roy back and start him after they come out of the locker room, because you let him get to the point of he shouldn't be playing on his own. You allowed him to pick the next captain. You're making sure the team is still in his hands. When he comes off the bench, he is going to hustle his ass off for you. And that's what he did.
I just want to point out as well, when they were in the locker room at halftime, they big up Zorro as well.
They do.
Yeah. Which is just a nice little thing. But yeah, I don't know whether this feeds back to when they're in Liverpool and Nate says, you used to run like you hated the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
And he does. Jamie's like on a break. He's on a tear. Like,
the way this is shot's fantastic as well.
It's so good because it's a beautiful tackle
coming in the back. Oh yeah, brilliant tackle.
It's a beautiful tackle. Like, there's no reason that could ever be a foul or whatever. But Roy sprinting, like, this is his last hurrah.
Yeah.
He knows this is his last hurrah, and what better person to take down?
Yeah,
than Jamie Tartt.
That's great.
Like, it's a really nice poetic sort of thing. He slides in, he knocks the ball out, and he's just on the floor. And this is like when we cut to the stands again, and Keely's like genuinely concerned.
Yeah.
Because Rebecca's like, hey, like, it's fine, like, we can, and she's like, he's not getting up.
And Sam's the first one to him. This is a callback to episode 5 when Roy's telling Sam to stay down, and then he tells him how to handle the crowd when it gets back up. And we have sort of a callback to this, but he's telling him his knees effed up.
Sam returns the favor.
I've blown my knee. He's like, my knees. Yeah, he's overexerted himself just to take Jamie down and save them a goal. Sam goes to pick him up, and then he drops him, and Roy goes, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Listen," and Sam just goes,
"Listen." Goes to call the medic, doesn't he? And Roy's like, "No medics."
The medic comes out with his sponge and stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it is.
Someone says he's going to go with the stretcher.
So we get the stretcher.
And Roy's like, "No."
And like Sam just drops him, and he says, "Just listen." And the entire arena, stadium, whatever, he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where, Roy Kent. And they know, and he knows that this is it. This is his last hurrah. Like, and this was the bit that really made me tear up.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's not real.
Yeah.
Like, it's still real to me, damn it.
It's when he looks back at Ted and like just gives him a nod.
Oh.
And then he walks down the tunnel.
And Sam drops him, and like he then picks him up, and even the commentary are like, "Yeah, we've chatted a lot of shit about Roy over the past couple of weeks, but for the past 2 decades, 20 years, which is a very long football career in anyone's eyes, isn't it? Like, he's been everywhere. Like, and he claps, he looks back at Ted, he gives him a nod, and it's like he's gone out on his terms.
Yeah.
And it is just like that bit when he walks down the tunnel and he's got, "Arlo, do you think we'll ever see Roy Kent again?" And it cuts to the locker room, and it's just Roy coming in on his own to an empty locker room.
Yeah.
Takes his shirt off and just sits there. And like, he's like, given his age and his injuries, I think that might be the last time we ever see Roy Kent on a professional football field. And it's heartbreaking.
It is.
It really is. But also, it's beautiful, because if Roy Kent was going to go out, he's going to be taking the legs out from Jamie, innit? Like,
yeah. It's the right way to go out. And also Keeley has made such a connection. He doesn't want anyone to see him at his low point. That's something he keeps to himself, but he lets her in.
I think this next scene is possibly one of my favorite scenes in the entire thing, where Roy's sitting there, and he knows, his goose is cooked. And Keeley comes in, and he's like, you can't come in here while the match is on. Yeah. And she just keeps walking towards him, and he's like, no, you can't come in. And she just sits down next to him.
And he's fighting back tears the whole time.
Yeah, so good.
And she just puts her arm around him, and he just rests his head on her. It's beautiful. I'm sorry.
No, it's great.
But but it's just one of those things. Again, I know it's not real. These are not real people.
Yeah.
But it's just done in such a way.
It's such a heartwarming moment in a moment that's also heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Which is really well executed. And also, as well, it shows, in that moment, it shows that he's got so much more life after football.
Yeah.
Because Keeley's, supporting him.
He's got every reason to look forward and not look back because she's sitting next to him. His reason to look forward is next to him. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's a great moment. It's a great moment, man.
No, what you just said there, that's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's another, reverse all this. This is never Jamie, ever. And he yells and screams at Keeley to get out. She might. But it's not, that's not what this is. This is her understanding. No. He's vulnerable. And I don't want to talk it to death. I think you did it perfectly. Honestly, I love it. It's great.
Well, back to the field.
Back to the field. Everyone in the crowd is checking their phones at the exact same time. And Ted's wanting to know what's going on. We find out Crystal Palace has won 6-0. All they need is a tie. And now Ted's okay with the tie. He's like, all we need is a tie. Let's just get a tie. Rashard goes down from a penalty, and you can hear them on the side. Stay down, just stay down. So he does. It's like, we think
I think he might be genuinely injured.
Yeah. And he just bounces back.
And then he just springs up and, maybe not.
This is the bit where he's on the phone to Henry earlier in the episode. Kids, I told you to come back. They're going to run the Lasso special. And Ted's like, they're running. I didn't even tell him to do this. And he's so excited. Like it's a proud father seeing his kid. They listened to what he said and they took the lessons he gave them. And that's
so like I said before we started recording, this is my favorite and most hated bit of the entire first season because it's dumb as hell. You can't do that. In football, you can't just do that. It's not. You can't. But I know it's a show. But also it's dumb.
So I was going to ask you guys that. They have possession of the ball, right? I guess.
Yeah, so it was
free kick.
They won a free kick.
Yeah.
Which is a set piece. I mean, usually in that situation, what they do is similar to that, but not quite. They wouldn't do the whole American football thing.
It's all this.
They'd all be piling up against them, just
that's the thing that annoyed me about it was that they went, we've got to get American football in here somehow.
But also if they're wanting to try and take City off the game, something like that would have been exactly what you'd want to do.
You couldn't do it. I mean, I do like the fact that Jamie literally goes, you can't do this. Jamie's furious.
So it wouldn't work with the whole pushing them back thing, but the whole thing with Obasenya running up the wing,
it's
as a diversion, that would definitely work.
A long ball up. They actually do call it a Hail Mary in the commentary as well, which I thought was an American football thing, which I thought was nice. Sam crosses it across to Rojas. Rojas does one of his sweet bicycle kicks, and we're even begging.
Football is life.
Football is life. We're also in 3 minutes of extra time here now as well. So it's one apiece.
We have to say that Cristo Fernandez, who plays Danny Rojas, that's him. Beautiful. The way he turns and hits slow motion, hits that kick. Oh my God. It's a thing of beauty, man.
Ex-professional footballer.
Was a professional footballer, has been mentioned in previous episodes, yes.
What's great is when they hit this, and everyone's going insane, and you think that's it. The pub's going nuts. Everyone's you notice we don't see Rupert and Bex at all when that score is made.
Oh.
We don't see them.
Yeah.
We don't.
So one thing that I did pick up on was how quickly City then broke again.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, Jamie picks that ball at the back of the net and goes to the centre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that wouldn't have happened. It would have. The referee would have had to have stopped the play and then blown the whistle. Ted and the rest of the bench would have been ready for it.
Yeah.
Again, basically
fiction, but in reality, it would never have happened.
This is very much where they pepper in American sports. This is very much something that would happen in a sport in this country, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it happen. I mean, you'll see a team celebrating either the play's still live or they've already reset, and while everyone's going like this, something's happening behind. And NFL, it's happened a bunch, but I remember this guy got a sack. He thought it was a sack. So he goes around to showboat for the crowd. He's doing this on one knee. Hey, look at me. The ball is live. And he doesn't know because he's too busy looking at you and getting camera time. The ball is live. The other team picks it up, runs it in for a touchdown. And I'm like, look what you did, so.
Fantastic.
I know, right? So, yeah, they've peppered things in for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's an emotional roller coaster, this whole scene.
I'm fairly sure that, all the teams have to be in their own half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know much, but I do know that you have to be in your own half when the whistle blows for the kickoff.
When they reset it, they'll have both teams being in their own half, usually stood in the formation they would have been in, and the ball has to be in the centre and the referee has to blow the whistle. Either way, there would have been a notification for Ted to know that the game wasn't over.
Yeah, they're all hugging and cheering
in
the sidelines, in the dugout. And only Beard sees this, and it's Jamie on a breakaway again. He's running it down. He goes past, I want to say Washington, who is a character we never really see. It isn't called Washington. I can't remember his name. And he makes a run, but he passes it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And you get that second goal. The whistle is blown, and Richmond are relegated.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Jamie did the one thing that Ted couldn't get him to do.
And that's some shit.
It's beautiful.
But and literally we get Isaac dropping to his knees and we've done enough.
This is heartbreaking.
It's horrible.
Yeah. From having experienced that with my team twice, it sucks. It's the worst.
And you don't really get to hear this bit with this because this show's not about football, right? Over here, whenever a moment like this happens, usually the end press conference and stuff usually is there's a lot of comments like, we worked so hard to get here. And that's what fans, we know, but we kind of don't know at the same time, the amount of effort it takes to, number one, get in peak physical condition. Number two, to get along with all these guys, half of whom you may not like very much personally. Number three, time away from your family, time on the road. Number four, time in buses and planes where you could get killed possibly at any moment. Time on the field where you think maybe you blew your knee, but you're not sure. Are you going to lose? What's going to happen? All that work to get better, and you lose in one game, and it's over till the next season.
Yeah.
It's the nature of the beast, though, isn't it?
It is.
That's just...
Yeah,
it's just how it is.
It is.
There's nothing you can do about it, and that leads us lovely into the locker room.
That's great. Yeah,
this is great.
It's
this
beautiful.
scene's fantastic.
It's beautiful.
This again, I've said this a lot throughout this entire first season. This is my favorite scene, but this is just Ted being Ted.
Yeah,
he knows how crushingly disappointed they all are that just through a sheer fluke that they're being relegated. Also lovely that Rebecca and Higgins are in that locker room as well.
And Keely.
And Keely's not moved. I'm assuming they've not moved at all. They've just been sat there silently hugging.
Is Rebecca's sitting next to Sam?
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Yes.
But yeah, and then Ted just comes in and like delivers this.
It's awesome
speech that kind of sums up this entire first season, really.
But it also lays the groundwork for the second season really well. He knows that he's got to get them back up on the feet immediately. Like, they can be disappointed that they got relegated, as they should be, because they weren't quite good enough to stay up.
Yeah.
But it's motivating them to bounce back, which is one of the hardest things to do in football. It really is. It's so difficult to get back up to the Premier League out of the Championship.
I'll bet.
And especially, obviously, with like losing players and stuff like that, which Richmond were lucky they didn't, but then they've still got to get out of the Championship, which is a very, very hard league to get out of. So he does a great job in kind of like lifting the spirits, keeping everyone like all the togetherness, and as I say, getting them back on the feet.
He tells the team, he tells the team that they gave the champs 90 minutes of hell. Did we know, had they mentioned champs with the word Man City till now? I'm trying to think back if they had mentioned the word.
They did before, I want to say before this game, when they were doing the build-up. As soon as they announced Richmond have host Man City, I think they said host the champions Man City.
Oh, there you go. Join the Untitled Wrestling Podcast for all the latest pro wrestling news from around the world. Want to dive deeper? Interviews, fantasy booking, roundtable discussions, quizzes, video game streaming, watch-alongs, and a lot more can all be found on YouTube and wherever podcasts are available. You can also find the show on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Untitled Wrestling Podcast, and Twitter, Twitch, and Discord at Untitled Rest Pod. Follow, subscribe, and download today. So he tells the team they gave the champs 90 minutes of hell. Zorro had more saves than a Baptist preacher. That's a great line.
Yeah.
Roy chased down his grandson and stopped him from getting an easy one, and Roy laughs. You don't see Roy laugh that much.
Yeah.
He laughs at it.
Disarming.
Yes. Ted says it's a sad moment. Lift your heads up. This is great. This is worth price of admission when he tells them, look around. Just look around.
Look around you.
You know, you're all going through this sad moment together, but there's something much worse than being sad. It's being alone and being sad. And whether he knows it or not, he's talking about Jamie. You know what I mean? Like,
also, though, he's sort of talking about himself.
He is.
And Rebecca.
He is.
And Rebecca. Literally everyone on that team.
It's true.
This is why this scene is so good and ties off this first season so well, because they've gone from being completely disparate people who happen to work in the same place, to being a team, to being people that know each other and care about each other. And like, it wouldn't matter, because if they got relegated, the best players would go off to another team, and they worked so hard for this. Like you said, we worked so hard to get here.
Yeah. I was going to say, he asked Sam, it's the goldfish bit. It's so good.
Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I told him? What is the animal with the worst memory?
Shortest memory.
Shortest memory? A goldfish, coach. Okay. When you're all done being sad together and angry, because like he knows.
Yeah.
Ted has gone through this season, through sad and anger because of his divorce. Rebecca's gone through it. Higgins has gone through it, kind of, because we got sadness and anger. He took up jazz bass. I mean, not a sane man does that. It's
Guru Van Dijk.
Again, no one does that. Roy has been through it. Like, everyone has been through this.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Keely has.
Yeah.
Keely's seen her best friend crumble in front of her due to her own. Like, it all ties up lovely. And he says, when you're all done being sad and angry together, I suggest we all just be goldfish.
Onward, forward. I love that bit.
But onward, forward, walks into his office on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He's still. Everyone else is fine. Ted doing Ted, making sure everyone else is okay. Not giving a shit about his own mental health.
It's true. Oh, good call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
When we get the scene next, when they're outside at the buses and Beard goes to Man City's bus.
And apparently they're in Reykjavik during the purge. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That happens at footy games.
I know. But why are there people with road flares? What's going on?
Yeah. Before that, Ted's walking down the hallway and he sees Jamie sat in the dressing room, and he goes to go. And then it's Jamie's dad kicking off about him not passing.
He looks in at Jamie, and he's like gonna do like a Ted thing through the window, probably like blowing the glass or do like going down to the basement or something. Like, you know, Ted.
I don't even think it would have been that. I think he would have literally just been going to say like, "Well done,
thumbs up."
Yeah, you literally like what he puts on the note in the end.
Possibly, yeah.
Going and saying,
but this is like one of those really horrific bits that takes me by surprise. Is that as he's looking at Jamie, like it's like a kit bag or like a boot slams into the wall.
A boot, yeah.
And like missing his head by a bit, which I think is like an Alex Ferguson fun reference.
Also, Jamie isn't like Jamie's been throughout the entire show. He's like a scared little boy.
He's like a child.
He is.
He's sitting there meek and turns out his dad's in there and he's like, I didn't come all the way down to London to watch you pass to win.
Isn't that something?
Ain't that some shit? Yeah. It's awful. It's one of like the most like there's worse stuff that Jamie's dad does, but this is like when we first introduced Jamie's dad, and yeah, it's just like I understand how Jamie is how he is now. It gives Jamie some little bit of backstory,
makes him a little bit more human than he was maybe before.
Yeah. But again, fair play to I can't remember the actor's name, but him sitting there, like a child being admonished for eating too many biscuits. It's awful.
Yeah, it is, and it's a callback to the episode where they're burning everything.
Yes,
it's great. Yeah,
the ghost episode.
Yeah. When and the buses scene that I jumped to way too quick, but Beard comes up and Jamie's like pissed off.
That's the thing.
He's pissed off to see him.
Jamie's dad wasn't even around.
You're right.
When Jamie was a kid, like that's what I knew. There was the reason I was annoyed. Jamie's dad wasn't even there.
He only came back around.
He's only latched on because he's famous.
He's a footballer.
Yeah.
Secondary piece of shit after Rupert. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, he is. For sure. Those two deserve each other.
Well, at least Jamie's dad has a little bit of redemption at the end.
Yeah, he has a redemption. But yeah.
At the very, very... Only a throwaway bit, but he's still a piece of shit.
But at this point...
That's right, he does.
Oh, at this point, he's a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Second to Rupert, as you say.
So the letter that Beard gives him, he goes in to the bus.
What's this? A love letter?
Yeah, it was love. He's all pissed off, right?
Beard, though, doesn't even, say anything.
He just hands it him, and he goes, good night, Jamie. Walks away.
Yeah,
that's all he does, And it says, way to make that extra pass. And then he sees an army man. There's an army man in the envelope.
Got a little army man.
And, dude, that hit me good because you can see it hit Jamie. Like it hit him in the exact right moment, the exact right way. And you can tell he knows now Ted's not full of shit. He's not been messing with him at all.
Yeah.
No, he wanted him. He wanted the best for him all along. Like I said, when we look back to that episode with the burning stuff, Jamie didn't have to show up. Keely told him to show up because Ted wants the best for him.
Yeah.
It's at that moment as well that Jamie does realise what he means to Ted. Like, this is like, as we said, like in the last episode, it's like the turning point for a lot of people. This is where Jamie's real sort of big turning point is, because he's shown a glimmer of it in the burning episode, and then obviously he left because he got sent back. But then he's the same prick he was. They repossessed his house. He's the same prick he was, though. Like,
I think that's just his default state.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a defense mechanism because he's that used to being like spoken down to by his dad and treated like shit because he's not the star. That he has to act like he is more than he is.
Oh, well done.
That literally, rewatching that scene today when Jamie's in that room, like
I completely forgot about that scene.
No, I did as well. And then it popped up, like, and I went back and rewatched it, and it's just like Jamie gives like a weird, like sort of not pleading look to Ted, but let's just like he's kind of like, do you understand now?
It's almost shame that Ted's seen his dad treating him like shit.
Yeah, because
it's almost like he's treating it like this should be behind closed doors. This shouldn't be like seen by someone like an outsider almost, I guess.
The biggest takeaway here, kids, is if you have children, don't be Jamie's dad. Yeah.
No.
Be proud of your kid. No matter what he or she does, be proud. Be there for them and support them, whatever. So the last scene of this episode and of this season is fast approaching. Ted walks into Rebecca's office and Higgins is walking out. She calls him Leslie. Ted says, "Is that your first name?" He says, "It is his first name. It's
my mom's name."
Yeah, he's what's known as a feminine junior, which is nice. He shakes Ted's hand, which makes Ted look down, and you're like, he's getting fired. Like, this is Higgins' way of saying it's been great knowing you, right? That's what Ted thinks. Rebecca offers tea, and Ted says that he and T are still in a lifelong hiatus. He'll take water. So he's basically telling her it's unfair that you have to fire me, so I'm just going to save you the time and trouble. I'm going to quit.
I wrote my resignation. It's on the back of a takeout menu, but I signed it, and it's in an envelope, so it's legit.
It's official, yeah. She tells him he's not going anywhere. She says they have work to do next season.
This bit where she goes, "No, we got work to do. You're not going anywhere."
Yeah, awesome.
And Ted genuinely looks like taken aback, like, because he was like, "I didn't do, but it's there." Like, she knows now that they can make this the best thing in the world.
Oh yeah,
she's on board.
Yeah,
she's fully committed to it.
You're right, and he doesn't say thank you. He says, "Well, all right," because that well, all right means we're in this together. That's what that means. That's what that means is, well, all right, let's work. Let's do this.
It's Rebecca wanting the club to succeed to spite Rupert, not to destroy it to spite him. She wants it now to be the best it can be. So everyone says that she's a better owner than he was.
And what's great here, this show is filled with callbacks. Another one's coming, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
He's asking about relegation. Well, that too. He's asking about relegation. She tells the team that they can get promoted next season. And Ted says, next year we get a promotion. We come back to the league and we do something that no one believes we could ever do. Win the whole fucking thing.
Whole fucking thing.
That is a callback to Major League. Again, the movie that we referenced in episode 1, I think.
Yep. Yeah.
It's perfect. It's
also, I think the first time we hear Ted swear.
I think you're right. He said other things, but not the F word.
Yeah. No, but like he says duty heads and
he said damn. Damn, still
that's not a swear.
Oh, shut up. It is.
No, it's not. Oh, okay. Well, go and tell your Baptist minister.
In England.
No.
I was listen. I've been in pro wrestling promotion, and we'd say, "What can we say on the mic?" And the pro say, "You can say ass, damn, and hell." That's all you can say. Don't say anything else. So we were bound by ass, damn, and hell. All right.
Oh man, you feel like Chuck Taylor, don't you?
Right.
I feel like Ted did a shit.
I genuinely don't know.
When he shouted at Nate, I feel like he definitely did some swearing.
I don't think he did. Even when he shouts at Jamie, he doesn't do swearing.
What the hell are you doing? He tells Nate, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
I think this is like the first time we see him swear.
First time for the F word.
This is serious to him.
I like to think it is the first time, actually, because it makes it feel more impactful.
That's what I mean. And nothing is here for no reason.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And Ted and Rebecca.
And then Ted drinks his fizzy water and spits it in Rebecca's face.
Is this the weirdest way to end this, where he says, "I'm sorry, did I get you?" And she's covered in it. And you're like, that's how we end the season? Like, I mean, I loved it, but like, it's so odd you end on Rebecca soaking wet.
It's a very British way to end a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah, it is super British.
It's such a British way to end the show.
If they didn't get a second season, that's a perfect ending.
It is.
There's no cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I feel like if they didn't get a second season, they would have probably reshot that where Ted gets fired.
I don't think so.
No?
I genuinely don't think so, because
I suppose it's not really a cliffhanger, is it? Yeah, you're right.
Leave it up to the fans' imagination of what could have happened.
Yeah. You would have had a season of maybe like a top tier struggle for but yeah, that's one of the things that I really like about this, is because it's shot in a very British way. Is that we don't do cliffhangers, we round it off.
I am very intrigued by how much like British TV Jason Sudeikis must have watched before he wrote this.
I know that they peppered in a lot of Western culture and American culture references that perhaps locker rooms would never have picked up on, but everyone gets the references in this show. So I know they put a lot of those things in there, but they also tried to stay true to the region and to the talk and to the accents and to words. What's this called? What's that called? Whatever. And then the jokes and whatnot. I know because I remember researching all that and saying, they tried to do a mix of both, where if they went straight on full British humor, an American audience would be left behind because we'd be trying to play catch up. But if they went full on American humor, the British audience would be like, what's this? This isn't even close. So
there's a couple of episodes that have got like a really British vibe to it. And the end of this one is very much so. I feel like the charity one's another one which has got a very British vibe to it. And there was another one that I can't think off the top of my head now which one it was. Leave that with me. I'll try and figure it out.
But it is. It's because this is the problem, isn't it? Like with like the whole Netflix thing and stuff, is like they'll leave a series on a cliffhanger so they get a second series. And with this, I know that Sudeikis and wanted to, it was a 3-season arc they had.
Yeah.
But if it didn't get picked up again, this ends perfectly. Like we can just win the whole fucking thing. Like you can just fill the blanks in yourself, like you said. Like the fans can just fill it in themselves. That
was just what I was going to say. Was regardless of how it ended either way. It ended for a new season or for nothing, and it would have been fine either way, because I'm glad we got the next 2 years. But like if that would have been it, you'd been like, what a great little moment of a TV show that makes me feel wonderful.
To refer back, like Jay, if she had fired Ted, the whole season wouldn't have made sense.
True.
Not necessarily, because if she's now
a business
realizing she needs to do what's best for the club,
and who has made the club the best club that it can be, Ted.
But then also the mindset of, which is kind of what the mindset of a lot of football owners is that you're only as good as your league position.
But she's not a football owner, is she? She's just a woman who's inherited it.
That ties back to the whole Ted. Like, oh yeah, well you don't know about
it's
football.
Like wheels within wheels, isn't it? You see what I mean?
Don't know anything about football, but you've got a different perspective on it. Brilliant.
It's true. And she unknowingly, by trying to wreck this team, she unknowingly brought in the best thing that's ever happened to this team.
Yeah. She could have brought in, what's he called? Jimmy Tight Socks, or whatever. The guy with whose balls fall out later on.
Well, she snapped him.
She did fire him.
Yeah. She did fire him, yeah.
She brought in Ted because he was the dancing hillbilly on American TV that she thought was going to be a dunderhead and a moron and a joke. And he turns out to turn the whole... I mean, the town he turns around to some respect. Like, people aren't as cruel to him or to anybody as they are by the end of the show. They're like, it's awesome. I'm so here for it. Don't look now, kids, but we done it. We done it. It's
season 1,
baby.
It's like we just got started, but here we are. We have officially wrapped it up. Now, to tell you what that we teased that y'all already know if you've been paying attention. But again, we pay it off. The next episode you will see in order of appearance is not season 2, episode 1. It is a review of season 1. And it's just going to be a free-for-all. We're all going to talk on top of each other and interrupt and curse and yell.
This is just an excuse for us to watch season 1 again, isn't it?
Yeah, right? Oh, yeah.
I've got Baldur's Gate 3 to play tomorrow, lads.
We're not going to do it tomorrow. It's fine.
I've already picked my penis. I picked penis D for dick.
Well, there you go.
That makes sense.
Although C, cock, B, no. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even look what the difference was. I just picked D. I don't know.
Oh, man, did we get off on something weird. Just like Ted Lasso season 1, we're ending on an odd note. Is this the British way to end the show? Just
yeah, because we're not in the same room. I can't spit water on Joe and then just end.
Oh, that's true.
So we'd have to just do it that way.
That's fair.
I'm trying to think what would be the most. I'm going to make a reference to bottom here, Joe. What would be the most Richie and Eddie way to end it?
Oh, mate, if just from that curtain behind you there, if just a SWAT team came in and shot you to death.
Yeah.
That's literally the ending of bottom.
Yeah, pretty much.
There is a Blu-ray release of Guest House Paradiso, which I need to lay my hands on because
what a wonderful film.
I can see Tom going, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll ask you off mic. It's fine.
We need to clue Tom in on bottom. It's a great show.
Are you aware of Rick Mail?
No.
How are we even friends?
You'll have seen him in a film, surely. He was quite.
Oh, I'm sure. I just may not know the name.
He was a somewhat famous actor.
You can shut your whore mouth.
A somewhat famous, and that's
he's famous in the UK.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Have you seen Drop Dead Fred?
Yes.
The Drop Dead Fred in Drop Dead Fred is Rick Mail, literally who I have based my entire adult life on because I love him so much.
He is wonderful.
And was wonderful. He's sadly dead now. Yeah.
Ah. So one word to sum up season 1. Joe, one word.
Okay.
Jay, you got a word while Joe's thinking?
Accountability.
Ooh, great one.
I'm going to say foundation.
Ooh.
What's yours?
Asking a question with no answer.
I'll say belief.
There we go.
That's what I got. Hey, look, kids, thank you so much for supporting the show. We hope you are enjoying this as much as we enjoyed doing it. Continue to please share us everywhere you can and continue to follow us on all the socials. Please go find us at Two Nations Pod. Be on the lookout for the wrap-up show of season 1, and we still got 24 more episodes to go. I'll be dead by then, but I'm looking forward to it. Not the death part, the show's part.
Oh, man, I ain't pushing a Ouija board around to get your answers to questions.
Boy, that'd be an entertaining episode, yeah? All right, that's it. That's all we got.
We'll have to see Tom mushy peas.
They could just rig me up and have strings and whatnot, making me move around as if I'm still here.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Weekend at Bernie's. I can't believe we're ending on Weekend at Bernie's. There you go, kids. Season 1 in the can. Thanks so much for watching.
I've already got fingered, but I let it go.
No, we decided it's over. We're gonna Ferris Bueller the hell out of this. We're gonna say you're still here. It's over.
I've got to run over 2 women in Ireland. This is terrible.
Kids, thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for the review episode and then season 2 coming your way soon. For Joe, for Jay, I'm Tom. We will see you next time.